Hey girls, it's Katie. I am 37 weeks today, and that means I am officially full term. We will not have a premature baby, and any time could be go time. So I'm really excited. In the past couple of weeks, I've sort of really worked through a lot of the feelings I was having about sort of feeling sad that the pregnancy was going to come to an end. And instead, I just really feel ready. Ready for the next thing, ready to meet the baby. I'm just really excited. We've gotten a lot of really positive feedback from our birth plan. I posted a video earlier in the week. Our midwife is also really supportive of everything that we put in there. So we're feeling good about that. And actually I was feeling awesome just about everything until my midwife appointment today. But I'm gonna talk about the positive things from the past week first. So I guess the biggest thing is that I've had a few symptoms of possible pre-labor. I've been having still this backache, this low back pain that it feels a lot like what I would get with menstrual cramps. That's kept up. I had one super crazy day of total manic nesting. It was actually Memorial Day. Mike went into work and I got up at 6:30, couldn't sleep, and I just needed to do stuff. And I cooked up a storm and I recaulked in both bathrooms, and I did everything. I did a lot of sewing. I just went until about 11 o'clock at night, I think, and I didn't even feel tired. It was kind of crazy, but really, really, really satisfying. But my parents have been freaked out because they said that, that burst of energy can be a sign of really impending labor. So they've been calling me every day this week, to make sure that I'm not there yet. Anyway, I also had a day where I really felt kind of off. People describe that as something that can happen right before labor starts, where they just feel something just doesn't feel right. I had one day where I felt kind of nauseated, had a headache, and I haven't had a headache since probably sometime in the first trimester. And I just felt weird. I just didn't feel like myself. But here we are, 37 weeks, and so far that's about it. I've been craving fiber like crazy, like whole grain stuff, and I eat a lot of whole grains and vegetables with lots of fiber and beans. Anyway, that's sort of the bulk of my diet, but this week it has just been kicked up another notch. As an impulse buy, I bought Raisin Bran. I don't think I've ever even eaten Raisin Bran before, but it was on sale for $1, and I just had to have it, and I've been eating a bowl of that just about every day, and it's just the best thing. So I don't know if that's related to towards the end of pregnancy your system starts to want to sort of clean itself out, and that sort of happens naturally and people can get diarrhea and stuff. That hasn't happened, but maybe the fiber thing is sort of putting that into action, or also sort of carbo loading or something, I'm stocking up on energy for later. We'll see. Mike and I bought sort of the final things that we needed, except for a dresser that we're still looking for. But we also went to the police department here and got our car seat checked. They do it for free a couple times a month, and we just wanted to make sure that it was correctly installed, which it was. But I'm really glad we did it, because there was one thing we didn't know about, where on the seat belt buckle itself, there's a switch so you can make the seat belt not release if the button's pressed. That was something we didn't even know. That was a feature of the car we didn't know about. They were able to do that for us, so it's just that much safer. So I'm happy to report that at 37 weeks I'm still wearing my wedding ring. I have had swelling on and off. Today is a really good day for me, I think, but my ring has been fine because it actually has never fit right. Mike and I got our rings from a thrift store, and neither one is really the right size. Someday we'll get sort of real good ones. But anyway, the upside is I'm still wearing my ring. However, my watch doesn't fit, so I really feel naked. I haven't been able to wear my watch. And that's something I've been wearing probably every day for about 10 years. Let's see, this week Mike started helping me with that perineal massage. However, I still don't know how you say that. And it's way better than doing it yourself. I'm really able to sort of focus on just, trying to relax those muscles. And it's really helpful. Still not sleeping much, but instead this week I've been taking baths every night, and that is really helping me relax, sort of take the weight off of my joints, and just sort of get like some rest, that even though it's not really sleep. So that's really helping me. Something else interesting is that in the past week, both Mike and I have had dreams where we had the baby, and the baby was a boy. I'm not sure if I've talked about this on videos throughout, I just don't remember. But really early on, my gut feeling was that the baby was a boy. From like the first days that I knew I was pregnant, that's the way I felt. And that lasted probably up until around the halfway point. And then it sort of faded and I didn't know, and then I got a pretty good feeling that it was a girl. And again, that's faded. And now the strong feeling has come back that it's a boy. And Mike has never had a feeling either way. He's never had any dreams, but this week he did. So I feel like we are both, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. We'll see if that means anything, but we've both sort of come back to the same point now, where we both think that it might be a boy. So hopefully we don't have too long to find out. So about the midwife appointment today, so first of all, I am measuring, my stomach is measuring exactly right. I think that the baby has dropped a little bit because I had every week, every appointment previously I'd been measuring 1 week ahead, and now I'm just measuring right on point. So I feel like the baby has probably dropped, or I've lost some fluid or something, but it's good. My weight, I gained 2 pounds in 2 weeks, which I guess is okay. I'm at 35 pounds total for the pregnancy now, which is within the range of what I was supposed to gain. So I feel okay about that. Unfortunately, my Group B strep results came back positive, which I know it's not a big deal, it's really common. For me, it's disappointing though, because I really didn't want to get an IV unless it was necessary. So it's going to be necessary now. If my water breaks, I'm going to need to go to the hospital pretty soon to get the antibiotics. It's just not something I want to mess around with. The baby could get meningitis. It could be a really dangerous thing. So I'm not willing to sort of take any risks that way. I'm going to do what's safest. But I am just kind of disappointed about having to get the IV, because I know when they start a line, they're not going to take it out unless they know they're not going to need it. So for me, I think it's just going to feel a little bit restrictive, even if it's not hooked up, just because it is a bit of an invasive thing. But what can you do? I'm one of the 1 in 3, I guess, so I'll deal with it. At this appointment, our midwife checked my cervix. I don't think that was really in the plans, but she when she was measuring my uterus, she said that the baby's head was really low. So she asked if I wanted her to check, and my gut reaction was to say no. I don't know. I think I just didn't really feel like I needed to know. But my mom has been really worried, like I said, that I'm going to go into labor early, and she's not planning to be here. She's not able to be here until the 40-week mark. So I thought it would be helpful to have a sort of better idea if I've progressed at all. As much as you can predict these things, whatever, just to have a better idea of of what had happened. Plus I've been having all this back pain, so I thought, well, maybe something has started. So she checked me, and I guess fortunately or unfortunately, I am not dilated at all. My cervix is completely closed, and she said it's not even thinned at all. So she fully expects me to go the full 40 weeks. Who knows? I mean, things can change just from day to day, so we'll see. But I have to admit, it felt like a little bit of a disappointment, just because I've just felt so excited and so sort of ready for the next step here. Also, my blood pressure was high at today's appointment. And I have a little bit of like white coat syndrome, and I tend to have a little bit higher blood pressures when I am at the doctor's office. But at this point in the pregnancy, high blood pressure is not what they want to see. And because I did have a headache in the past week, and I have had swelling some days better than others. Like I said, today it's great. She checked me and she said I'm perfect, no swelling. But so the blood pressure is a little bit troublesome, and we did 2 readings when I first got there, and then a couple hours later right before I left, and they were both elevated. So also I have trace protein in my urine. So I'm going to go back on next Tuesday, which is less than a week away, for another appointment. And if you can just keep me in your thoughts until then, that when I go back to my next appointment, things are normal, and this appointment was just sort of a fluke, because the concern is for preeclampsia. And I have a tendency to sort of assume the worst, and then think down the line and sort of get taken up in that. And so of course that's what I've done. But if I do develop preeclampsia, or it's shown that I have already developed it, it's gonna change a lot of our plans. I'll probably have to change to an obstetrician from our midwife, and I think that would be disappointing. We can deal with all this stuff if we need to, but it's not ideal. So I'm really hoping, like I said, that things will be good at my next appointment. If you can just send me your prayers and positive vibes and stuff until then. We just want to have a healthy rest of the pregnancy and healthy baby. So I'll just do a quick belly shot. I don't really feel that much of a change since last week, but maybe you can tell me your thoughts if I've dropped at all. Well, this dress is going to be a little bit hard to see, I think. $37. There's a lot of fabric. Any lower? So this summer is really shaping up to be a fruitful one. It seems like there's a ton more people with BFPs, so congratulations to all of you, and a ton of baby dust to all of my other friends out there who are trying this cycle. I'm super excited for you. My fingers are crossed. Hopefully I've got good news to report from this end too for next week. The best thing about the past week is that I was able to take a couple hours off of work to go see Mike in court. Not in trouble court. He is a legal aid attorney, so he works for a nonprofit. Basically, he's a lawyer that represents people who can't afford lawyers otherwise. I think it's really, really important work, and he's good at it. And so we had this really major hearing that he'd been preparing for. He worked all weekend, and I was able to go see him in court. I've actually only seen him in court once before when we lived in Alaska. But that particular day, the court was just sort of dismissed. So I didn't actually see him do anything. So this time I actually really got to see him argue, and it was cool. I feel like this is an important thing for our relationship to do at this point before, you know, life gets more complicated. It's only going to be harder to find the time for something like that. So I'm really happy that I got the chance to sort of give him that attention and get a better idea of, you know, what his days are like while I had the chance. So that's it.